Okay, so this is a Can-am Ryker, and even though it's a motorcycle or a tricycle, really not a car, trike we might call it, so you don't sound like a 3-year-old. But it has headlights, and these have the standard old halogen bulbs in them, kind of like the ones in the truck we were just looking at. We're going to replace these with LED lights. LED lights are usually a little bit brighter, and they are a whole lot more efficient. They use a lot less electricity to put out the same amount of light. So a lot of people have put those in their house and everything else. So we're gonna put these light bulbs in. So with this one, we're popping off these little plastic tabs that are gonna hold the side panels in, because the lights are actually in beside the panels. What I'm using is a little plastic pry tool. And the reason it's plastic is so that it won't scratch up any parts or paint or anything like that. You don't have to have these. You could have just used a screwdriver or a knife or something to pop up under those little tabs. But this makes it a little safer and less likely to damage the parts. So there's another on this particular vehicle. You actually have to slide a few more that are down here under the gas tank, and you pull these other 4 tabs off, and then everything is ready to come off. Okay, so now that all the little plastic clips are out up by the gas tank and down here, you take the side panels and they lift up and pull off. There's a little keeper right down there that they slide onto. And now we have access to the back of the headlights. And you'll notice back behind this headlight, it's going to be very similar to what I was trying to show you in the truck. It's going to be a device that you can just twist and then pull out. So there is a boot on this one to keep it waterproof, that you also have to unconnect the clip and then pull the rubber boot off, and then we'll just twist and pull it out. So in this one, we're going to first disconnect the little wiring harness that clips on. Then we're going to pull the rubber boot off, which has a little place to catch it with your thumb. We're going to pull this rubber boot off that just keeps everything kind of in place. And then after we get the boot off, then we're going to take the light bulb, just like what we saw. This one actually has a separate ring, a retention ring behind it that turns and pulls off, that holds the light bulb in. So it's kind of hard to do with one hand. I may have to set the phone down. But after you've got the boot and the ring off, then the light bulb just comes right out. Okay, so in this one, taking it out, it's a little different than putting it back in. This one actually has a little, because we're changing to LED bulbs. They're a different style than the halogen. You put in a little flat spacer that you just put in. Then the retention ring actually goes in next before the bulb, and it goes in and locks back in by twisting it, just like the other piece. Okay, so now that the retention ring and things are in, the next thing we're going to do is take the rubber boot and put it back on. I can't reach it. Hang on just a second. It's right here. And once we snap this back on and in, then we'll work. Once we put that back on, then we'll work to slide the light bulb back inside of it. Okay, so now that the boot's on, we're going to take the new light bulb, and it's going to be inserted into the light housing, and then we're going to rotate it clockwise after it gets in there until the wire's pointing down, and then plug it in. So it's in, and now we're going to plug it into our original wiring harness. And voila, that's the installation of a new LED. Okay, so now that the light bulb is installed and in, what we want to do is make sure that it works. We're going to turn the headlights on before putting it all back together and putting the plastic in. So the light is on, we started, boom.